Picture this. You wake up Monday morning and your entire world has just crumbled. Maybe you got fired from that dream job. Perhaps your business failed spectacularly. Or that relationship you thought would last forever just ended. Your bank account is empty, your confidence is shattered, and everyone around you seems to be winning while you're stuck picking up the pieces. Sound familiar? Well, what I'm about to share with you today could be the difference between staying down forever and coming back stronger than you ever imagined possible. I'm talking about the science of the comeback. The psychology behind why some people bounce back from devastating setbacks while others never recover. And most importantly, the exact step-by-step system that turns your lowest moment into your launching pad for unprecedented success. Here's something that might shock you. Research shows that people who experience major setbacks and learn to recover properly actually end up more successful than those who never face serious challenges at all. It's called post-traumatic growth, and it's about to become your secret weapon. But first, let's address the elephant in the room. Right now, you might be feeling like a complete failure. Like everyone else has it figured out while you're the only one struggling. That voice in your head is probably telling you that this setback proves you're not cut out for success. That maybe you should just settle for less and play it safe from now on. I need you to understand something crucial. That voice is lying to you. Every single person you admire, every entrepreneur you follow, every successful individual you look up to has faced moments exactly like this. The difference isn't that they avoided failure. The difference is how they responded when failure knocked them down. Let me tell you about the comeback blueprint that changed everything for thousands of people. It starts with understanding that setbacks aren't roadblocks. They're redirections. Your brain is wired to interpret failure as danger, triggering your fight-or-flight response. But what if I told you that this biological reaction, when properly channeled, becomes your greatest asset? The first phase is what is called the reality audit. You need to get brutally honest about where you are right now. Not where you wish you were. Not where you were 6 months ago. Where you actually are today. This isn't about dwelling in negativity. It's about creating a clear starting point for your comeback. Write down 3 things. First, what specifically went wrong? Don't just say, "My business failed." Get specific. Was it poor market research? Bad timing? Inadequate funding? Cash flow problems? The more precise you are, the more you can learn from this experience. Second, what skills or knowledge gaps contributed to this setback? This isn't about beating yourself up. It's about identifying exactly what you need to develop for your next attempt. Maybe you need better financial management skills. Perhaps you need to understand marketing better. Or maybe you need to improve your ability to read people and situations. Third, what resources do you still have available? This might seem impossible right now, but you have more than you think. Your network, your experience, your skills, your determination. Even your failure itself is now a resource, because it's taught you what doesn't work. Now comes the mindset shift that separates winners from quitters. You need to reframe this setback as market research. Every successful entrepreneur pays for market research. You just got yours the hard way. That knowledge you gained about what doesn't work, that's worth more than any business degree. Think about it this way. Before this setback, you were operating with incomplete information. You had theories about how things worked. Now, you have data. Real, expensive, painful data about exactly what happens when certain approaches fail. That data is incredibly valuable if you know how to use it. The second phase is strategic recovery. This is where most people mess up. They either rush back into action too quickly without learning from their mistakes, or they get paralyzed and never take action again. Both approaches guarantee continued failure. Strategic recovery means taking deliberate, measured steps toward your comeback while simultaneously building the skills and systems that will prevent future failures. It's like being a scientist studying your own life. using your setback as the ultimate case study. Start by identifying your success factors. These are the 3 to 5 key elements that, if executed properly, would virtually guarantee your success in your chosen field. For a business, this might be customer acquisition, product development, and cash flow management. For a career, it might be skill development, networking, and personal branding. Here's the critical part. You're not going to work on everything at once. You're going to pick one success factor and become absolutely dominant at it before moving to the next. This focused approach prevents you from spreading yourself too thin while building unstoppable momentum. Let me share something powerful about momentum psychology. Success breeds success, but it starts with tiny wins. Your brain needs evidence that you're capable of winning again. So you're going to engineer small victories in your chosen success factor every single day. If you're focusing on skill development, commit to learning for just 30 minutes daily. If it's networking, reach out to just one person per day. If it's customer acquisition, focus on getting just one potential customer to engage with you daily. These seem small, but they compound into massive results. The third phase is momentum building. This is where your comeback transforms from possibility to inevitability. You've audited your reality, you've started strategic recovery, and now you're ready to accelerate. Here's what most people don't understand about momentum. It's not about working harder. It's about creating systems that multiply your efforts. Every action you take should have the potential to create multiple positive outcomes. When you network, don't just build one relationship. Ask for introductions to create multiple relationships from each conversation. When you learn a new skill, don't just apply it once. Find 3 different ways to implement it in your life or business. When you solve one problem, document the solution so you can solve similar problems faster in the future. This is called leverage, and it's the difference between working in your comeback and working on your comeback. You want every hour you invest to create exponential rather than linear returns. But here's where it gets really interesting. Your setback has actually given you a hidden advantage that people who've never failed don't have. You've developed resilience. You know you can survive your worst-case scenario because you're already living through it. That knowledge eliminates a massive psychological barrier that stops most people from taking bold action. The fourth and final phase is breakthrough acceleration. This is where your comeback becomes legendary. You've built systems, created momentum, and developed unstoppable confidence. Now you're ready to make moves that seemed impossible when you were down. This phase is about calculated risks and strategic boldness. You're not gambling anymore because you've built a foundation of skills, systems, and experience. You're making informed bets with the wisdom that comes from having survived your worst fears. Here's your assignment for the next 7 days. Complete your reality audit. Choose your first success factor. Take your first small action toward rebuilding. Document everything you learn. And most importantly, start viewing this setback as the beginning of your greatest success story. Remember, every comeback starts with someone who refused to stay down. Someone who decided that their setback was not their final chapter, but the opening scene of their greatest triumph. That someone is you. Your comeback starts now. The question isn't whether you can recover from this setback. The question is how spectacular you want your comeback to be. Because with the right approach, your greatest failure becomes the foundation for your greatest success. And that transformation begins with your very next decision. Thanks for watching. Restart strong. Win after a setback. If this helped you, please like the video and consider subscribing for more tips to get back on track. See you in the next one. Keep pushing forward.